Hey guys, it's Lisa and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be decorating this area in my store. And yes, you're looking at a tree. When we first bought our store, my sister was having some work done on her property and having some trees removed. So we just decided to add this tree here to the top of this electrical spool so that I would have some areas to display my birdhouses. And then we added some little shelves here by just cutting some disc from trees and attaching them to the top of these branches. And it's made a really good area for my store. We call this the garden area. And it has worked out really well for us. Now I'm putting this faux window back here in the back. On this open side here where you see all this white, because I felt like we needed some color here to ground that side. And I'm just attaching a screw to the back of this tree trunk so that I can wire this window to it and keep it from falling because there's too much space to lean it on the wall. Now the colors that I'm going to concentrate here on are yellow and green. And then obviously there'll be some white and black to go with it. Now if my video seems a little choppy, it's because I've had to start and stop so much when I would get busy in the store. And also I was trying to cut out some of the time that I was just standing there and trying to decide what to do, because I know you don't want to watch all that. Generally, I would try to put this vignette together first and then redo it on film, but I just didn't have time for that today. And I wanted to get something on for you guys because otherwise I just wasn't going to have anything. And I'm going to get to a thrift flip the next video, hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the next day. But right now, like I said, I just wanted to get something on, and so that's why I decided to just bring you guys along while I decorate this area. So here I am just trying to distribute my colors. So I felt like this window, because it's so open, it needed something to kind of ground. I put that little bird cage there, and it just wasn't showing up because of that window that has all the open space in it. So that's where I decided to put that little wall pocket. And now I'm adding some white to the other side and trying to fill in some of the open space in the back before I add my little items. And then I hang this little wreath here to add some green up there. But I don't keep that. You'll see I didn't take out all my indecisiveness because I wanted it to be realistic of what I actually do when I'm putting these together. And it's just like here I'm putting, I was going to put that little plant up there and decided it needed to be, I needed a riser under it. So I have some little wooden discs that I cut at different heights to use as risers, and it works out really well for this little tree shelf here. Now I just have a lot better luck with these vignettes when I pick a couple of colors and try to put them together, and I feel like it always helps to add some white. So I generally like to start with some bigger items to ground my area, and then just kind of fill in where I can. And I was trying to bring that yellow over, and I struggled with these two pieces to figure out where to put them, but that's just how it goes when you're setting up the vignettes. You just try. If it doesn't work, you just move on to something else. And I feel like a lot of time is wasted in this, but I feel like it's necessary time. So I think presentation is really important in selling your items because the average person can't look at a decorative item and know how to use it, or even have any idea how it's going to look in their home. So if you can display it and give them ideas on how to display it, and it really helps them to be able to see it in their home. Now, I've also got a lot of little hooks and stuff on this tree, so if I'm displaying the right items, I can fit quite a bit in this tree. And I really like this green and yellow because to me it just really says spring. And, spring is almost here. I'm so excited. I feel like the world needs a little sunshine right now, and being outside in the sun just really helps my mood, and I think it does most people's. I have a lot of areas in my store right now that need attention, and it's not been long since I did it, but I know if you guys have booths or stores, you know what I mean. It just doesn't take long at all for it to look like you haven't done anything to it, especially when you sell furniture. And January and February is definitely my month to sell furniture. I don't usually sell much of anything else, but I do sell furniture those 2 months. And I had one area in my store that I had gotten in real good order, and really hadn't even sold much out of it. And then today I sold a large piece of furniture, and so I'm back to trying to put that area back together. So it's just a never-ending. Luckily, I love doing this because it's a never-ending thing. It's something that you're constantly working and reworking the areas in your store. But it is a little more challenging now that I've started my channel because I'm trying to fit these videos in, and I'm always doing these things. So, as I said before, I may as well be filming them. But sometimes, getting them together and being able to set up the camera and all that is a little bit challenging, but I'm really enjoying doing it. So I decided at this point that I didn't like the little sign that says Our Nest there where it was, so I moved that over to another little hook that I have. And like I said, I have several hooks, so that works out well for me. And then my decor on the little shelf in the center shows up better, and then that opens up that little area there at the trunk to display this birdhouse. So that almost completes this top, and I may add a few items later. I guess if I add it, it will be higher up, but right now I think that's pretty close to being finished. And then we'll move the camera down and finish the bottom area. Now I start out with the bottom with these 2 items because I thrifted this little step stool and added some containers and made a planter so that I could display some of my florals in it. And then I started to move that little chair there on the side, but I decided it gives me some area for height, so I can put items on top of it and then there at the bottom, and so I felt like it would work out. And this is just a little plate that I'd painted, and it was just a little metal plate that I'd painted and put a stamp on, and that brought some of the yellow down to that side. And this bottom will come together pretty quickly because I don't have a whole lot of area, and I don't like to display as much down low because it just doesn't get noticed as well. So this will go pretty quickly. And again, I'm sorry that I've not done a thrift flip in a bit, but I will get back to that in the next day or two. I just really haven't had the opportunity. But I like this little insect, whatever it is that I had thrifted. It's just metal, and I didn't have to do anything to it. It was already black, and I just really like that little item. I decided here that this little picture got lost behind that set of books, so I decided to put this little plate on a stand behind it, and I think that worked a lot better. So then I moved down to this little area in the center and start trying to work it. And then I realized that I needed to move my little wall pocket up. And so I decided to add me a screw and put that on that little base there up higher. And then that will open that bottom up for me to add some more items. And then you don't have all that dead space from the on this base. And once I get that wall pocket hung, I realize then that I can move that yellow plate over to the center, and that will help even out my colors there on the bottom. So once I add the white there and a few other little items, then I feel like this balances this really well. I started to put this picture down here and decided that it needed some greenery in it because I needed to balance that green also, because I was getting an awful lot of white here on the bottom. So once I add some greenery to my little picture, then I just put that down on the bottom, and then I can just kind of fill in with a few smaller items, and then that will be complete. I hope I've given you guys some ideas on how to put these little vignettes together. I know that it's not very likely that you'll be decorating a tree, but it still gives you some idea of how to distribute the colors and fill in these little empty spaces. And then our little vignette will be complete. And I'll show you what it looks like close up. And I'll show you kind of slowly through it. I've had some viewers say that I don't spend enough time showing what the item looks like completed. So I'm trying to get better about that. I'm trying to really listen to your comments and take some of your ideas into consideration, because y'all have a lot of good ones, and I really appreciate your comments. I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate all your support. I've just been overwhelmed by how much support I've gotten with my channel, and how many kind people are out there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great evening, and God bless you and your family.